Seems like currently no team in the East actually wants that last wild card spot. But none of these teams have been as interesting to me as the Philadelphia Flyers. Starting the season with some of the best performances we've seen from them in quite a long time, Torts' all offense, no nonsense approach finally seemed to be clicking with the roster, and the team couldn't be stopped. Fast forwarding today, however, the Flyers are currently 1-6-3 in their last 10. They just got off a 6 game losing streak and now are on a 3 game losing skid. Things in Philadelphia dropped off pretty dramatically, seemingly overnight. I've had a Philadelphia Flyers video in the back of my head since I started this channel, but that most recent blowout from Montreal was kind of the kick in the ass that I needed to finally make this video. So let's talk about the Montreal game. In short, it was awful. The team got absolutely dominated on both ends of the ice from a team that they really should have beaten. It was probably one of the worst games I've seen them play all season. Torts had a really good point after this game. The team is not struggling due to a lack of trying. You can see that the Flyers do work their asses off from game to game. It's just keeping down those mistakes and keeping the bad games to a minimum, which is something they were really good at in the first 3 months of the season, but have really struggled to do as of late. Something that makes the Flyers somewhat unique is their power play. It's dead last in the league with only 12.6% and only 31 goals all season on the power play. So if you're playing the Philadelphia Flyers and you take a penalty, don't sweat it too much because it's not really going to affect you that much. Something that really set the Flyers back is the loss of Carter Hart in net due to his legal issues, which we're not going to get into right now. But since his departure, goaltending has been a consistent issue for them, and they've shown that they know that they really need to fix the goaltending situation by injecting Fedotov directly into the lineup without even giving him a chance to adapt to the American game. The guy doesn't really even speak English, so just injecting him right into the lineup without even a little bit of development at the American level is not a recipe for success. And I understand a lot of fans are frustrated with Fedotov. I don't really get it. I think maybe give the guy a chance first. Again, he just got injected right into the NHL level from the KHL level. Maybe a few weeks in the AHL, and that would have helped. But injecting him right into the lineup is not a recipe for exactly success. Speaking of goaltending, Ersson has been having a pretty tough time in the starting role. He's currently at 21 wins in 48 games. He currently has a 2.96 goals against average and a .886 save percentage on the season. Not great from your starting role. Not that he had much help on the defense, but not great for a starting role either way. And with Fedotov still adapting to the American game, I don't see this turning around anytime soon. Maybe in the off season, I'm hoping that they can get some development for Fedotov and then give Ersson some of his confidence back. Someone who's definitely been a bright spot for the Flyers the last 2 seasons is Owen Tippett. This season, he has a career high of 28 goals, 25 assists for 53 points in 75 games. He's definitely blossomed into the forward that the Flyers were really hoping he would. He is arguably their most consistent forward on the ice right now. What really has been hurting the Flyers most for me as of recently is their defensive awareness. Look at any goal from the last month against the Flyers. It most likely happened because one Flyer lost their man or two Flyers converged on one opposing forward, leaving a gap open for a one-timer in the slot. This goes back to what Tortorella was saying, just fixing those sloppy mistakes, getting a little more consistent on the defense, and I think this team could be pretty dangerous if they can just fix up those sloppy mistakes and have more good games than bad games. A question that the hockey guy proposed that I've been thinking about a lot recently in his recent video is if you're a Philadelphia Flyers fan, are you coming out of this season concerned or are you coming out happy with their performance and excited for the future? I'm not certain about my answer, but if I'm a Philly fan, I'm leaving this season happy just because, again, like everyone's been saying all year, they weren't supposed to be in this position. They're playing with house money. They really were expected to be bottom of the league. No really huge pushes for the playoffs, nothing like too major, but to be in a playoff spot for the majority of the season and arguably have a fall from grace in the first place is pretty impressive due to the expectations going in with this team in the first place, and especially with losing Carter Hart halfway through the season. I do commend the Flyers. They do work their asses off. I really see that. And it's great to see. I really do like the Flyers. I think they have a very fun roster, exciting roster for the future if they can just make the right moves and kind of fix up those gaps in their play. I think the Flyers are playing with house money at this point. They have shown that they can compete with the bigger teams just on pure work ethic alone. and that work ethic will translate far in the playoffs if they can actually make it to the playoffs some year soon. Um, Torts' tenure has been great with the Flyers. I think he's finally understanding that his all pushing all the time won't work, so he's kind of taken a step back and has really been reflecting on his performance and how he can motivate the team because he kind of can't push them any further. They're already working their asses off, so it's not an effort thing as much as it is just like a mental getting out of this kind of rut kind of thing. Um, but that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I did want to say in this video, I will be postponing or suspending the weekly recaps for the rest of the season. Just with my current job and just like current circumstances, it's just too much. I can't keep up. And I found myself not really talking about each game as much as I'd like to, or not getting as in depth with certain games or certain teams as much as I'd like. I do have plans next season to, if not bring back the recap, at least do like weekly power rankings or something like that. Just watching every game and taking notes for every game has just proved to be too much, as well as like filming and editing. It's just it just adds up to being a little too much for me right now. Um, I apologize if that disappoints any of you guys, but I just kind of got to keep the work life balance. That's the most important. So, um, I do really love making these videos. Got a podcast on the way. There's a little bit of a delay with that one as well, just some audio issues with that. But other than that, expect more content to come. If it's on another deep dive, maybe a news video, maybe I have when the playoffs are finally upon us and every team is secured. I have some plans for some videos in the future as well, so I'm excited to drop those. Thank you guys so much for watching. I gotta go edit this. Bye.